Good morning, dear children. Welcome back to the second session of Organic Chemistry Introduction to Alcohols. Organic chemistry is the study of carbon compounds, which extends to understanding chemical reactions in living organisms and products derived from them. There are numerous examples of organic chemistry in daily life. Common products which we use are shampoo, gasoline, that is petrol or fuel, perfume, lotion, medicines, food additives, plastics, paper, insect repellents, fabrics, paints, etc. In the previous session, we have an introduction to alcohols, their nomenclature, their classifications. In this session, we will have the isomeric structure exhibited by alcohols and their preparation. I welcome Mrs. Sridevi, Principal of Telangana Model School and Junior College, Pudur, to give her session. Good morning, madam. Please take over the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So, good morning, dear students. Once again, welcome you all for the chemistry webinar. It's the time for alcohols. So, dear children, in our previous class, I have introduced you the topic of alcohols. See, what are alcohols? Alkyl hydroxy compounds are called as alcohols. When you replace the hydrogen in an alkane with the hydroxyl group, that is the OH group, alcohols are obtained. So, what is R-H? It is an alkane. It is the general representation of an alkane. When you replace this hydrogen with OH group, alcohols are formed. That's why we call them as alkyl hydroxy compounds. Okay. So then, what is CH3H? Methane. If you replace this hydrogen with OH, we get methyl alcohol. Then C2H5OH, ethyl alcohol. Then CH3CH3CHOH, isopropyl alcohol. So in our previous class, I explained you regarding the classification of alcohols and then about the nomenclature of alcohols. So let me recapitulate you regarding this. So classification of alcohols. See, based on the number of OH groups, alcohols are classified into three types: monohydric alcohols, dihydric alcohols, trihydric or polyhydric alcohols. Monohydric, they contain one OH group. Example, so methanol and isopropanol. Okay, so then coming to the second classification, that is a dihydric alcohols. The dihydric alcohols means how many OH groups they contain? They contain two OH groups. And then the trihydric alcohols, and then coming to the next one, that is the polyhydric alcohols, right? So then we have learned about the classification of alcohols into different types based on the hybridization of carbon atom, right? If the OH group is attached to the carbon, which is under sp3 hybridization, they are divided into different types. Alkyl alcohols, that is a normal alcohol, RCH2OH. What is this? See, RCH2OH. Here, the OH group is attached to the carbon, which is under sp3 hybridization. And I have explained you about the sp3 hybridized carbon also. Then, once again, these are divided into three types: primary alcohols, secondary alcohols, and tertiary alcohols. The primary alcohols. If the OH group is bonded with the carbon, which is linked to only one alkyl group, it is called as a primary alcohol. Then, if the OH is bonded to the carbon, which is bonded with two alkyl groups, okay, so secondary alcohol. Then, if the carbon, which is linked with the OH group, is bonded with three alkyl groups, then it is called as tertiary alcohol. Okay, so then coming to the next type of classification. So, allyl alcohols. What are they? Allyl. What is allyl group? CH2 double bond CH, CH2OH is the allyl alcohol. Here, the OH group is attached to the carbon, which is under sp3 hybridization. And in fact, that carbon is linked with the other carbon atom, which is under sp2 hybridization. So, allyl group CH2 double bond CH2 is the allyl group, and it is bonded with the OH. Then it is called as allyl alcohol. And once again, it is divided into three types: primary, secondary, tertiary. So then we move to the next type, that is benzyl alcohol. Okay, so benzyl. See here, the OH group is attached to the carbon, which is under sp3 hybridization, and this is bonded to the benzene nucleus. So benzyl alcohol. What alcohol? Benzyl alcohol. And then coming to the second type, that is the carbon here is under sp2 hybridization. The OH group is linked to the carbon, which is under sp2 hybridization, right? So example, vinyl alcohol. CH2 double bond CHOH is the vinyl group, and it is the vinyl alcohol. Okay. And then I explained you regarding the cyclic alcohols also, isn't it? See, let me recapitulate this. See, cyclic alcohol. Cyclic means here the carbons are in the fashion of a ring. They are arranged in a cyclic manner, right? It's not the open chain. It is a cyclic one. So cyclohexanol. Cyclohexanol. And the other example I have given you is 2-methyl cyclopentanol. 2-methyl cyclopentanol. So then, so we learned about the IUPAC nomenclature, right? So this is the IUPAC nomenclature. According to the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, so the organic compounds are given some special names, and we call them as IUPAC nomenclature. So generally, the alcohols are called as alkyl alcohols, isn't it? Ethyl alcohol, methyl alcohol, like that. So that is a common name. And what is the IUPAC name? The IUPAC name of these alcohols is alkanols, ols. Alkane means the alkyl group, and ol, alcohols, ols. The end word is ol, right? So the root word is ol. So CH3OH. The common name is methyl alcohol. And count the carbons. How many carbons? One carbon. Isn't it? So methanol. Then C2H5OH. Ethyl alcohol. How many carbons? Two carbons. Ethanol. Then CH3CH2CH2OH. N-propyl alcohol. Propanol. Then isopropyl alcohol. 2-propanol. N-butyl alcohol. 1-butanol. See here, N means normal. It is a straight chain. Okay. Then see the second one, secondary butyl alcohol. That is 2-butanol. Then the next one is isobutyl alcohol. So what is the name of that? 2-methyl 1-propanol. Right? So the longest carbon chain contains 3 carbons. So propan. And the first carbon is connected to the OH group. So 1-propanol. And the second carbon is having the methyl group. So 2-methyl 1-propanol. Okay. Then today I'm going to discuss about the isomerism and then preparations of alcohols. Okay. So then let us move to the isomerism. So what is isomerism, Nana? What is isomerism? So isomerism means the compounds which have same molecular formula but show different physical and chemical properties exhibit a phenomenon called as isomerism. See, iso means same, mer means parts. So the phenomenon exhibited by the organic compounds which have same molecular formula but different physical and chemical properties is called as isomerism. Then what type of isomerism does these alcohols exhibit? So alcohols exhibit different types of isomerism. So they show both the structural isomerism and stereoisomerism. So the name itself is telling that structural isomerism. Structural isomerism means they structure, right? And stereoisomerism. So they differ in the three-dimensional arrangement of atoms. Okay. So now let us see the structural isomerism. So alcohols show structural isomerism. Then what are the types of structural isomerism? Chain isomerism. Chain isomerism. So what is this? Let us see now. Chain. So the compounds which have the same molecular formula, I will show you. CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2. Okay. So OH. What is this? So this is butanol. So the common name of this is N-butyl alcohol. N-butyl alcohol, and IUPAC name is 1-butanol because the longest carbon chain contains 4 carbons and the first carbon is bonded with the OH group. So 1-butanol. And let us see the molecular formula of this. See what is the molecular formula. See the molecular formula of this compound is C4. Okay, so what is it? C4. How many hydrogens? 5, 7, 9, 10. Right? C4H10O. Or else we can write like this. C4H9OH. Okay. So here we can show that it is an alcohol. What is it? It is an alcohol. Okay. Right. Now, so what is another structure? So C4H9OH. Right. See here. CH3, CH2, okay, CH, CH3, OH. See how many carbons? 4 carbons, right? So 4 carbons. And how many hydrogens? 5, 8, 9. So C4, H9, OH. But the structure is different. The carbon chain is different. It is a straight chain and it is a branched one, isn't it? So what is the name of this compound? So you have to pick out the longest carbon chain. So the longest carbon chain is this one, isn't it? Right? So the longest carbon chain should include the functional group. So what is this? The name of this compound is 2-butanol, isn't it? 2-butanol or isobutyl alcohol, right? So these are the chain isomers. What isomers, Nana? Chain isomers. Okay. So now let us move to the next one. So what is another type of isomerism shown by these compounds? Let us see now. Positional isomerism. The name itself tells us that they differ in the position of the functional group. In the position of the functional group. So positional isomerism. So CH3, CH2, 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 OH. Okay, how many carbons? 5 carbons, isn't it? 5 carbons. How many hydrogens? 5, 7, 9, 11. So C5H11OH, right? C5H11OH. C5H11OH. Okay, right. So now let us see the positional isomer of this. Okay, now another compound CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2. Okay, now see here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what is this? So this is 2-pentanol. 2-pentanol. This is 1-pentanol. So can we write another compound? Yes, of course. We can write another compound for the same molecular formula. CH3, CH2, CH, OH, CH2, CH3. How many carbons? 5 carbons, isn't it? And then the third carbon is attached to the OH group. What is the name of this? So this is 3-pentanol. 3-pentanol. Now, I think everyone have identified this. Okay, see this. This is 1-pentanol, 2-pentanol, 3-pentanol. So the difference is in the position of the functional group. Here, the functional group is attached to the first carbon, here to the second carbon, here to the third carbon. So such type of isomerism is called as positional isomerism. And these isomers are positional isomers. See, I already told you, Nana, that they contain same molecular formula. You count the molecular formula. So all these three compounds contain same molecular formula, but they differ in the position of the functional groups. So such type of isomerism is called as positional isomerism. Positional isomerism, right? So then coming to the next type of isomerism shown by alcohols. So alcohols exhibit functional isomerism. Functional. What is a functional group? Functional group is a group of atoms, right? Is a group of atoms which are arranged in a specific manner, right? Which are arranged in a specific manner and show certain specific characteristics is called as functional group. So functional isomerism. So what is functional isomerism? Let us see. Alcohols and ethers are functional isomers. What are they? Alcohols and ethers. What are alcohols? R-OH. And what is an ether? R-OR is an ether. Okay. So this is the ethereal oxygen which is linked to two alkyl groups. So R-OR is an ether and R-OH is a alcohol. Now let us see the functional isomers for these two compounds, right? So CH3, CH2OH. What is this? Ethanol, isn't it? How many carbons? 2 carbons and then one OH group, ethanol. And what is the ether for this? How to write the ether for the same molecular formula? And what is the molecular formula? C2H6O. What is it? C2H6O is the molecular formula, isn't it? Now, so for this molecular formula, I am writing an ether. It's very simple. So write the alkyl group and then oxygen linked with another alkyl group. Finish. So what is this? So this is CH3O, CH3. What is the molecular formula? C2H6O. So same molecular formula, isn't it? But different functional group. Here it is an alcohol. Ether. So what is this? Methoxymethane. 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 Understood? So this is methoxymethane, an ether, and this is ethanol. So the compounds which have the same molecular formula but different functional groups. So they are called as functional isomers and the phenomenon is known as functional isomerism. What isomerism? Functional isomerism. And then let me show you the stereoisomerism, that is the optical isomerism, right? So what is optical isomerism? Optical isomerism is shown by the compounds which possess optical activity. What activity? Optical activity. Okay, so let me show the optical isomerism to you children. So CH3, right? COH, okay, and then H C2H5. So what is this? This is 2-butanol. What is this? 2-butanol. 2-butanol. So let me write the optical isomer for this. Okay. So these are the mirror images. What are they? Mirror images. Then how to write the mirror images? It's very simple. So you take the carbon here. Okay. So OH and then CH3. Okay. CH3. Then H and then C2H. Understood? Right. So this is also 2-butanol. But what is the difference? This is the mirror image of the first compound, right? So what is it? This is the mirror image. So this is dextro. Okay. And this is levo. What is it? Levo. Levo. Understood? This is levo. So this rotates the plane polarized light towards the right side, whereas this compound rotates the plane polarized light towards the left side. So that's why we call it as levo and we call this as dextro. So 2-butanol is an optically active compound because it is bonded with 4 different groups. So we call this as a chiral carbon atom. What carbon atom? Chiral carbon atom. A carbon which is bonded with 4 different groups. So this is H, OH, CH3, C2H5. So this is a chiral carbon. A carbon which is bonded with 4 different groups. I hope you have understood about the isomerism, Nana. See, so the isomerism shown by alcohols is of different types. So we have discussed about the structural isomerism. Under this structural isomerism, I explained you about the chain isomerism, positional isomerism, and then functional isomerism, right? So then coming to the next one. So, so let us move to the preparations of alcohols, right? So let us see the preparations of alcohols. Methods of preparation. So these are the laboratory methods. So preparation of alcohols. So let us see the first preparation. So the first preparation is by the hydration of alkenes. Okay, by the hydration of alkenes. Alkenes, aliphatic unsaturated hydrocarbons, which are bonded with carbon-carbon double bond. So aliphatic unsaturated hydrocarbons having carbon-carbon double bond are called as alkenes. Then how these alcohols are obtained by the hydration of alkenes, let us see. See, first of all, let me show you the general reaction. So what did I tell you? Aliphatic unsaturated hydrocarbons containing carbon-carbon double bond, alkene. What is it, Nana? Alkene. Okay, then we use the word hydration. Hydration means addition of water. What is it? Addition of water plus H2O. Okay, so then in the presence of an acid, so we use the H plus ion here. So we used to show this with H plus, means in the presence of an acid. Then what do you get? So you will get an alcohol. So what do you get? You will get an alcohol. C, okay. Then single bond. So this is H, right? And then this is, okay, CH2OH, right? This is an alcohol. What is this? Alcohol by the hydration of alkenes. I will show you. The example for this. So this is CH2 double bond CH2 ethene. What is this? Ethene. Okay. So then H2O in the presence of an acid, H plus, right? So we may take H2SO4. Okay. So then what do you get? So you add hydrogen to one carbon. What do you get? CH3. Double bond becomes single bond. And then CH2OH. So you will get ethanol. What do you get, Nana? Ethanol. Okay. So you'll get ethanol, right? So ethene plus H2O. So hydration of alkenes. What is it? Hydration of alkenes. Okay. So that. So see this, this is an unsymmetrical alkene. What is this? Unsymmetrical alkene. This is propene. What is this? Propene. So the doubly bonded carbon atoms are attached to different number of hydrogens. Here one hydrogen and here two hydrogens. So such compounds are called as unsymmetrical alkenes. Okay, so this is propene. So addition to unsymmetrical alkene, so followed by Markovnikov rule. Markovnikov rule. Okay, so here, what is the negative part of the reagent? The negative part of the reagent is OH. So it is attached to the carbon, which is having less number of hydrogens. So this is the negative part of the reagent. So it is attached to the carbon having less number of hydrogens. So what is the product you get here? So you will get CH3. Okay. So what do you get? CH3, CH, CH3, CH, okay, OH, and then CH3. So you will get 2-propanol. You won't get the normal alcohol. So you will get 2-propanol. 2-propanol. Okay, 2-propanol. Right? So this is followed by which rule? Markovnikov rule. The negative part of the reagent. This is the reagent, children. H2O. What is the negative part here? OH minus, isn't it? So the negative part of the reagent is added to the carbon, which is having less number of hydrogens. So this is called as Markovnikov rule, MKF rule. According to this, this is the product, that is 2-propanol. 2-propanol. Okay, so then I hope you have understood this. So the first preparation is by the hydration of alkenes. By the hydration of alkenes, right? So now let us move to the next preparation of these alcohols. Okay, so the second preparation is by the hydroboration, and oxidation. Hydroboration and oxidation. Hydroboration and oxidation. So the name itself is telling that here we are adding oxidation of alkenes by the hydroboration and oxidation of alkenes. So here also we are taking alkenes, right? So then how alcohols are prepared by this method? Let us see. So here also I'm going to take a propene, CH3CH double bond CH2. So what is this? Propene. And here we will add diborane, S, B2H6. So that's why we are calling it as hydroboration. Understood? Now, what do you get? You will get a trialkyl borane. So 3 moles. So trialkyl. CH3, CH2, CH2, taken thrice, B. What is B? What is B? Boron. Okay. Now, so then this is oxidized. So what is it? It is oxidized and treated with sodium hydroxide, aqueous sodium hydroxide. And then you will get the product propanol. What do you get, Nana? Propanol. So you will get propanol, CH3, CH2, CH2OH. Okay, you will get our propanol and then H3BO3. Yes. So this is the second preparation by the hydroboration and oxidation of alkenes. So this is propene. I have taken propene, 3 carbons and 1 double bond, propene, and it is treated with diborane. We will get a trialkyl borane, right? So trialkyl means how many alkyl groups? 3 alkyl groups. So trialkyl borane, and which is then oxidized and then it is treated with NaOH to get this propanol. And what is this compound? So we got 1 propanol, that is an alcohol, propyl alcohol, and the IUPAC name of this is 1 propanol. What is this? 1 propanol. And then let us move to the next preparation of these alcohols. And it is very simple. This we have learned in the properties of alkyl halides, if you remember. Okay. So then from ethyl chloride. Okay. Ethyl chloride. Ethyl chloride. So generally whenever we spell alcohol means it is ethanol, children. So CH3, CH2, it is taking as default. CH2, Cl. So ethyl chloride, when treated with aqueous KOH, remember, aqueous KOH. Okay, so then here what happens is this chlorine will be replaced with OH. Okay, what is eliminated? KCl is eliminated like this. Okay, potassium chloride is eliminated. And then you will get this CH3, CH2, okay, CH3, CH2, OH plus KCl. Understood, Nana? So this chlorine is replaced with OH, substituted with OH, and we call this as replacement or substitution. And this substitution is being done with a nucleophile. What is OH? OH is a nucleophile. So we call this as nucleophilic substitution. So just I will write here such that you can remember this. What is this? Nucleophilic substitution. So nucleophilic substitution. Okay. So this is our ethyl chloride. What is this? Ethyl chloride or chloroethane. Ethyl chloride is a common name. And then the IUPAC name is chloroethane. Ethyl chloride is treated with aqueous, remember, aqueous KOH. Okay, so you get ethanol. What do you get? You get ethanol, right? C2H5OH. Okay, so then coming to the next one. See why I am stressing this word aqueous. I will tell you the reason, Nana. When the same ethyl chloride is treated with alcoholic KOH. Alcoholic KOH. Remember, what is ALC? ALC is nothing but alcoholic. Alcoholic KOH. What happens is instead of nucleophilic substitution, so dehydrohalogenation takes place. What is D? D means removal. Dehydrohalogenation. What is it, Nana? Dehydrohalogenation. Elimination of hydrogen and halogen is called as dehydrohalogenation minus HX, right? We are removing the hydrogen and halogen. So when we remove a hydrogen and halogen from this, hydrogen will be removed from this carbon and halogen from this carbon. So you will get a propene. So what do you get? You will get propene, CH2 double bond, CH2. See here, CH2 double bond, CH2 plus KCl plus H2O. Understood? So chlorine is eliminated in the form of KCl and hydrogen is eliminated in the form of H2O. So that's why we call this as dehydrohalogenation. So please remember, so I'm mentioning this as a note to remember. So this is a different reaction. If you take alcoholic KOH, right? If you take alcoholic KOH, what do you get? So you will get ethene. Please remember, you will get ethene. So if you want to prepare an alcohol, you have to take aqueous KOH. What should you take? You should take aqueous KOH. So this is ethene, 2 carbons and a double bond, ethene. So please remember, this is dehydrohalogenation and this is a nucleophilic substitution. Okay, so then hope you are understanding this. So now let us move to the next preparation of alcohols. And this is from Grignard's reagent. So actually this is from aldehydes and ketones along with Grignard's reagent. Aldehydes and ketones. What are aldehydes and ketones? RCHO is an aldehyde, isn't it? Then what is a ketone? R C double bond O R is a ketone. Right. So from aldehydes and ketones. So the next preparation is from aldehydes and ketones. Now, how do we get this alcohols from aldehydes and ketones? The first one, CH3 CHO. So this is ethanol. All means aldehyde. The common name of this is acetaldehyde. See, I am giving both the common name and IUPAC name, Nana. This is acetaldehyde. So it is an aldehyde. So aldehydes on reduction. What is reduction? Addition of hydrogens, right? So addition of hydrogens in the presence of a reducing agent. See, what is a reducing agent? Lithium aluminum hydride. Okay, LiAlH4 is a reducing agent. So addition of hydrogens, simple, you will get an alcohol. What alcohol? It's a primary alcohol. What alcohol? Primary alcohol. So you will get ethanol. Ol means alcohol. Al means aldehyde. Very simple. So the common name of this is ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol. Understood? So now let us see the ketone here. CH3. Okay. C double bond O CH3. So this is a ketone. Ketone. One. So the common name of this is acetone. What is the common name? Acetone. Because on oxidation it gives acetic acid. That's why it is commonly known as acetone. Okay, our nail polish remover is nothing but this acetone. So in the beginning of the session, Shailaja ma'am have expressed the applications of organic compounds, isn't it? The gasoline. Okay, so acetone is our nail polish remover. Then What is this? The common name is acetone and the IUPAC name is propanone. Propanone. How many carbons? 3 carbons. 1, 2, 3. One. The N name is one. Propanone. And now when this is reduced, so here reduction, addition of hydrogens is called as reduction, right? So when you take the reducing agents like lithium, aluminum hydride, sodium borohydride, okay, all these are the reducing agents. What are all these reducing agents? So what do you get? You will get a secondary alcohol. So that's what we had to observe, children. CH3, CH, okay, OH, CH3. So what is this? This is 2-propanol. 2-propanol. Isopropyl alcohol. The common name is iso. The second carbon is having the methyl group, isopropyl alcohol. This is 2-propanol. And then let us classify this. So in the beginning, we have classified this. This is a primary alcohol. What alcohol? Primary alcohol. And this is a secondary alcohol. Which alcohol, Nana? Secondary alcohol, because the carbon which is bonded with the OH group is linked with two alkyl groups, CH3, CH3. Here, the carbon which is bonded with OH group is bonded with one alkyl group. So we call this as primary and we call this as secondary. So what is the basic principle you have to remember here? You have to remember that aldehydes on reduction gives primary alcohols, and whereas acetone, that is the ketones, on reduction gives secondary alcohols, right? So please remember this, it's very important, right? So then coming to the next preparation. So this is another interesting and important preparation of alcohols. See, this is also from aldehydes and ketones, children. But here, the difference is we use the Grignard reagent. Grignard reagent. Grignard is the name of the scientist. And then the reagent. This reagent is having lots of synthetic applications. Many organic compounds can be synthesized from this Grignard's reagent. And what is this Grignard's reagent? R-MgX. Alkyl magnesium halide. What is it, Nana? Alkyl R magnesium halide. Alkyl magnesium halides are called as Grignard's reagent. Grignard's reagent. So how alcohols are prepared? Let us see. So here I am taking a simple aldehyde. So the simple aldehyde which I have taken here is the formaldehyde. So what I am taking is formal CH double bond O. What is this? Formaldehyde. The common name is formaldehyde. Okay. So the IUPAC name is methanol, all. One carbon atom, meth, and then aldehyde. So methanol. Now, when this is treated with Grignard's reagent, so I am treating this with a Grignard's reagent. What is Grignard's reagent? Alkyl, methyl, magnesium, bromide, CH3Mg, Br. Then what should we get? See how I'm adding these two compounds. Please look at the board. It's very easy. If you follow me, then you take this carbon atom of aldehyde. Okay, children, right? So CH, CH, okay, simple. And take this methyl group of the Grignard's reagent. You add here. How? CH3. Just wait. So then CH3, you add the oxygen with magnesium bromide. Finish. OMG-Br. Now what happens? This will undergo hydrolysis. Hydrolysis. Where the bond will split, it will split here. See the dotted line. See what we get? We get hydrogen to this end and OH here. So if you add hydrogen here, what you will get? You will get a primary alcohol. Yes, very good. What do you get? You will get a primary alcohol. So CH3, CH2, CH3, CH2, OH plus MgOH Br. So what do you get? Plus MgOH Br. So this is ethanol. What is this? Ethanol. And what is its nature? It is a primary alcohol. That you have to remember, Nana. Now, see, let us move to the next preparation. So if you, interestingly, if you listen to this topic, then it has some different sort of applications, right? What is it? Let us see. CH3, CH double bond O. And what is this? This is also an aldehyde. What aldehyde? Acetaldehyde. Yes, acetaldehyde. And then what is IUPAC name? How many carbons? 2 carbons. Ethanol, all. Okay. Now, when it is treated with Grignard's reagent, CH3MgBr. Okay. So, alkyl magnesium halide. What is the name? Methyl magnesium bromide. Methyl magnesium bromide. Okay. So then how to add? I think now by this time everyone might have understood how to add these two compounds. See, it is an addition reaction, isn't it? Then what is the addition product? How to write? See, let us learn this. Very simple. CH3, CH. I'm not making any magic. I'm not doing any magic. Just I'm replacing the atoms here and there. See, that's what I'm trying to tell you right from the beginning of my class, that organic chemistry is very, very easy, right? CH3, simple, okay? Then single bond O, MgBr, that's it. Now it will undergo hydrolysis and then the bond will split here, isn't it? Again, it will split here, H here, OH here. So what do you get? You will get isopropyl alcohol. What alcohol, Nana? Iso. So CH3, CH, OH, CH3 plus MgOHBr. Now, what is its nature? This is a secondary alcohol. Yes, what is alcohol? Secondary alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol is the common name. Okay. The IUPAC name is 2-propanol and the nature of this is a secondary alcohol. What alcohol is this? Secondary alcohol. Understood? Now, let us see the another preparation from this too, that is the aldehydes and ketones along with the Grignard's reagent. Okay, so what is it? Grignard's reagent. So let me show you this. Now see, what is that starting compound I'm taking here? Yes, it is nothing but acetone, a ketone. I'm taking the ketone here. CH3, C double bond O, CH3. So what is this? Acetone. What is acetone? It is a ketone. The IUPAC name is propanone. 3 carbons, prop, and a ketone, on, propanone. When it is treated with methyl magnesium bromide, methyl magnesium bromide. So now let us add these two. Okay, again CH3, okay, CH3, CH3, then again CH3, double bond becomes single bond OMgBr. OMgBr. This is the addition product, isn't it, children? Now here it will undergo hydrolysis. The bond will split here. So this dotted lines will show the cleavage, the fission, the breakage. Okay. So again H here, OH here. H to this part and OH to this part. What do you get? you will get a tertiary butyl alcohol, isn't it? CH3, C, CH3, CH3, okay, and then OH plus MgOHBr. So what you have to understand? MgOHBr. This is the end of the page, no? That's why I'm facing some problem here. MgOHBr. Yes. Okay, it's okay. MgOHBr. And what is the name of this? This is tertiary butyl alcohol. What alcohol, Nana? Tertiary. The carbon which is bonded with OH group is linked with 3 alkyl groups. So tertiary butyl alcohol. And what is its nature? The name itself is telling that it is a tertiary alcohol. What alcohol? Tertiary alcohol. So is it not interesting? Yes, it is very interesting. So we have prepared the primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols by taking an aldehyde and Grignard reagent and another aldehyde and Grignard's reagent and a ketone with Grignard's reagent. Then what is the difference here you have to observe? So I will tell you what you had to learn from these 3 reactions. So just I will precisely write here on the board. When you take a formaldehyde plus Grignard's reagent gives a primary alcohol. That you have to remember. Okay, you will get a primary alcohol. Then acetaldehyde plus Grignard's reagent gives a secondary alcohol. See, we can change the alkyl group of Grignard's reagent, but not the aldehyde or formaldehyde or acetaldehyde. Then you will get a secondary alcohol. If you take a ketone, CH3, C double bond O, CH3. If you take a ketone, then that is acetone, you will get a tertiary alcohol. Tertiary alcohol. Understood? So formaldehyde, I will write here. Formaldehyde plus Grignard's reagent gives primary alcohol. Primary. Okay. Then acetaldehyde plus Grignard's reagent gives secondary alcohol. Secondary. A carbon which is bonded with 2 alkyl groups. 2. Then acetone plus Grignard's reagent gives a tertiary alcohol. Okay, so now let us revise what we have learned today. So today we have discussed about the isomerism. See, what did we discuss today about the isomerism? Alcohols show different types of isomerism. What are the different types of isomerism shown by alcohols? Alcohols show structural isomerism. Okay, what do they show? Structural isomerism and then stereoisomerism. Okay, alcohols exhibit structural and stereoisomerism. So in this, we have learned about the structural isomerism, that is the chain isomerism, and then positional isomerism, functional isomerism. Okay, so this is a structural isomerism, that is N-butyl alcohol and isobutyl alcohol, right? Here they are differing in the skeleton of carbon, right? So then coming to the next one, that is the positional isomerism. So the name itself is telling that they differ in the position of the functional group. Here they differ in the position of OH group. It is attached to the first carbon in the first compound, second carbon in the second compound, third carbon in the third compound. So they differ in the position of the functional groups. Okay, 1 pentanol, 2 pentanol and 3 pentanol. Positional. they differ in the position of the functional groups or at the atoms, right? So, and then we discussed after this about the functional isomerism. What isomerism, Nana? Functional isomerism. See here, so this is the functional isomerism. The compounds which have same molecular formula but differ in the functional groups. Alcohols and ethers are the functional isomers. What isomers? Functional isomers. So these are the functional isomers. R-OH and R-OR is an ether. So ethanol and methoxymethane. What is the common name of this? So the common name of this is dimethyl ether because it contains two methyl groups, isn't it? So di means two, methyl, dimethyl ether is the common name. And the IUPAC name is methoxymethane. And then I have shown you about the stereoisomerism also. Stereo, they differ in the arrangement of atoms in the three-dimensional space, right? Among them, they show optical isomerism. I have taken the example of 2-butanol. So these are the mirror images. I have taken a compound which contains asymmetric carbon atom. A carbon bonded with 4 different groups is called as asymmetric carbon. Chiral carbon, we call it as chiral. Chiral carbon, which is shown by an asterisk mark, like this, star mark, right? So then coming to the next one. So we learned about the preparation of alcohols. So the first preparation is by the hydration of alkenes. Hydration means addition of water. Isn't it, Nana? Alkenes, aliphatic, unsaturated hydrocarbons containing carbon-carbon double bond are called as alkenes. So ethene undergoes hydration in the presence of an acid. So what do you get? You get ethanol. So we'll get ethanol. And then propene. So see here. So propene is an asymmetrical alkene. Unsymmetrical alkene. We call it as unsymmetrical alkene. Why? Because the doubly bonded carbon is having different number of hydrogens. It is having different number of hydrogens. So we call this as unsymmetrical alkene. What alkene? Unsymmetrical alkene. Addition to unsymmetrical alkene is governed by Markovnikov rule. What rule? Markovnikov rule. So this is an unsymmetrical alkene. The negative part of the reagent is attached to the carbon which is having less number of hydrogens is called as Markovnikov rule. Markovnikov rule. Okay. So according to this, we get 2-propanol. We get 2-propanol. This is the product. And then we move to the next preparation, that is by the hydroboration and oxidation of alkenes. So diborane is added, we get trialkyl borane, right? So which is then oxidized and then it is treated with aqueous NaOH to get alcohol. Then we move to the preparations from ethyl chloride, that is alkyl halides. It's very simple. When ethyl chloride is treated with aqueous KOH, we get ethanol. What do we get? Ethanol, right? So then this is a nucleophilic substitution. Substitution means replacement or substituting an atom with another atom, a functional group with another functional group. Nucleophilic substitution means if the substitution is carried out by a nucleophile, we call it as nucleophilic substitution. Then, so alkyl halides on treatment with aqueous. Aqueous means water. Aqueous KOH, we get alcohols. The same reaction, if it is carried by alcoholic KOH, alcoholic KOH means ethanolic KOH, ethanolic, right? Then the reaction is dehydrohalogenation, not substitution. What is it? Dehydrohalogenation, elimination of. Whenever you see this alcoholic KOH, please remember. So dehydrohalogenation, elimination of hydrogen and halogen. Name itself is telling that. D means removal, elimination of hydrogen and halogen. So what do we get here? Ethene. Ethene. Okay. C2H4. Halogen. Now, the next preparation is from aldehydes and ketones. So, aldehydes and ketones, that is acetaldehyde on reduction gives a primary alcohol. Means aldehydes on reduction give primary alcohol, whereas ketones on reduction give a secondary alcohol. Right? That you have to remember. And then coming to the next interesting preparation, that is aldehydes and ketones when treated with Grignard's reagent. What is it? Grignard's reagent. What is Grignard's reagent? Alkyl magnesium halide is called as Grignard's reagent. So we get formaldehyde plus Grignard's reagent, primary alcohol. Acetaldehyde plus Grignard's reagent, secondary alcohol. And then acetone plus Grignard's reagent, tertiary alcohol. So Grignard's reagent is used to prepare large number of organic compounds. That's why it is having lots of synthetic applications. Okay, so whenever you want to prepare a primary alcohol from an aldehyde or a ketone, then what you have to do? So you have to take a formaldehyde to get a primary alcohol. Then when you treat this, when you treat the Grignard reagent with the acetaldehyde, you will get a secondary alcohol. And then when you treat the acetone with the Grignard's reagent, you will get a tertiary alcohol. So these are the laboratory methods of preparations of alcohols, children. And in my tomorrow session, I will deal with the commercial preparations of alcohols, like how it is obtained from molasses and how it is obtained from starch. So these are the large scale preparations. We can say them as the commercial preparations and then the large scale preparations. Okay, so what is molasses? The molasses is a mother liquor which is left after the crystallization of sugar from sugarcane. It is a brown color, dark syrupy liquid which is left after the crystallization of sugar from sugarcane. Okay, okay children, I hope you have understood my class. So please watch our YouTube channel and then please subscribe the YouTube channel. And see children, your exams are nearing by, and almost all we are at the end of the academic year. That is in the month of December we are here. So please try to watch the sessions and write down the notes. Okay. So I thank our additional director sir and our webinar team. I thank Mrs. Shailaja for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Shailaja, ma'am. I thank everyone for giving us this opportunity. Thank you, ma'am.
Madam, thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
You have covered everything like preparation of alcohols,
yes,
the isomerism they have exhibited. Yes, and in the next class, what are the learning points? Can you just brief it?
Ma'am, in my next session, I'm going to deal with the large scale preparation of alcohols, ma'am. So preparation of alcohol from molasses and starch.
Okay.
And also the properties of alcohols.
Okay.
See, the
Preparation of alcohols.
compounds which contain oxygen along with carbon and hydrogen are divided into different types, madam. Among them, alcohols is the first one. And in my next session, I'm going to complete this preparation, large-scale preparations of alcohols, properties of alcohols, and then we have to move to phenols, ma'am, aromatic alcohols, and then we will move to ethers. So by then, this topic will be completed, ma'am.
Okay. Children, please revisit this video once again. Go through the lesson, write all the learning points in your notes, and answer the questions that are, prepare the notes for the questions that are in the Telugu Academy. Thank you once again. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.